Have you ever set a goal and then it comes and goes and you wonder, how come I didn't accomplish it again? And you wonder, is it even worth it? Or is this actually the norm? Am I just one of those people who sets goals, doesn't reach them, while I watch everyone else have amazing results and success? No. Let me tell you, that's false. And today I want to talk about this in regards to health and fitness and why most people don't reach their health and fitness goals and why you are not going to be most people. So if you can at all relate, go ahead and grab a pen and paper because we are going to cover all the things today. Are you too busy to prep healthy meals? Do you feel self-conscious about your body and your clothes not fitting right, but you don't have time to work out? Does your life feel unorganized and messy? Do you wish you had routines and habits that made health simple, even with your busy schedule? I know, I've been there. Hi, I'm Shannon Marquita, and no one ever really taught me how to eat healthy. I didn't know anything about nutrition, so I found myself eating whatever was easy, which definitely impacted my energy, weight, and focus. That's why I created this podcast, to show you that through healthy habits and time management, you can know you're doing health right. So stop scrolling social, clicking the ads, and buying all the things. Let's grab our Americano and pop in our AirPods. It's time to solve the real problem together. Welcome home. A fresh start awaits. Before we get started today, I want to talk about two things that aren't entirely related. One, I kind of just realized that as we jump into new episodes, I have a tendency to say, grab a pen and paper. I don't know if that's you or not. For me, that's old school and I love it, but you might not be that way. So just know as you listen to these episodes, what I want for you is for you to not just listen and absorb and be getting more knowledge. I want you to be taking away something that you can apply immediately, even if it's just one thing. The point of these episodes is to be acquiring takeaways that can serve you in your life to make positive changes and actually form healthy habits, break unhealthy habits and end those cycles, and just continue to move forward and grow in a positive way. So if you ever leave an episode without a takeaway, listen again. You can take notes on your phone. You can write something down. You can text a friend, whatever you need to do, but just make sure at least one thing is taken away from each episode that you can turn around and start applying immediately, because otherwise we're really just wasting time. And that is not something that I ever want to do in my life or yours, because I want us to be growing together. Sometimes we waste time, but that's usually an intentional choice. We might be sitting down to watch a TV episode or who knows, scrolling our phone, right? Doing something that actually isn't productive, but that's reality. But listening to these episodes, it's a conscious choice in order to learn and leave with something applicable in order to serve our lives better. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that for those of you who listened to last week's episode, first, I just want to say thank you so much for reaching out with all the love and support. And I just can't even begin to tell you what that means. The messages, the texts, the phone calls, everything. I felt the love. I felt the support. My family felt it, and it's just immensely appreciated. But along with that, it kind of caused me to realize that I got derailed a little bit, and there's some emails I wasn't replying to or that I missed. And so for those of you who are ready to jump into Healthy Habits Coaching, I'm so grateful for your follow-up messages, emails. My calendar link is part of the checkout process. I would love to connect with you. So make sure that as you purchase a one-on-one Healthy Habits coaching session, and if you haven't done that already, you can go to my website, Shannon Marquita, that's MARQUETA.com, and grab one of those 60-minute Healthy Habits one-on-one coaching sessions where we will talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. If it's something that you have been struggling to work on or stop doing, or you just know you want some change, but you're not entirely sure what that looks like, we sit down together and we help map out a plan. So go ahead, grab one of those, grab a spot on my calendar. If for some reason that doesn't entirely work with your schedule, feel free to shoot me an email. It goes right to my inbox and you'll hear from me. And I just want to say thank you for your patience as I'm coming out of the haze and getting back on track with my to-dos and catching up on the inbox. I love you guys so much, and I want to say I'm sorry, but also thank you for your patience and understanding. So that being said, I want us to dive into today, why most people don't reach their health and fitness goals and why you are not going to be most people. So the first thing is that we are in a culture of instant gratification. I don't know if you've noticed, maybe somewhat in your own life or just in others, but we expect things now, right? Like we order food, and if it takes more than 30 minutes, we say no thanks and we might go somewhere else. We expect things to now be delivered, even if it's not just from Amazon, in 2 days, or it's too long and we're going to order from somewhere else. It's instant gratification. We text somebody, we call, we send a message, we expect it to be now. And that's just not how life works, and that's not how it needs to work. Yes, technology is great in a lot of ways, but it's caused this expectation that we always need to be on and available and connected. And that's not true. It's actually very healthy to have quiet time, to unplug and put your devices away. I hope you have that time daily. If you don't, then that's something that you should work on. We can do a whole nother episode on that. Grab a healthy habits coaching session. We can make a plan. But instant gratification is just not a thing. And so I think that is very common when it comes to the health and fitness world is you set a goal, and when it doesn't happen within a week, maybe even 72 hours, we think, what's the point? And we stop. But the reality is we have a tendency to underestimate how much time something takes and overestimate what we can accomplish in a certain amount of time. I'm going to say that again because it is so true. We have a tendency to underestimate how much time something takes and overestimate what we can accomplish in a certain amount of time. For example, have you ever had a summer trip or a beach vacation or a boat day that didn't really come out of nowhere, but you just thought, oh, I have time. And then all of a sudden it's here and you think, oh my gosh, I need to get bathing suit ready ASAP. Now, what does that mean? Because first of all, I want you to love your body in all the times. But we have an image in our head of how we want to feel and what we want to look like. And so we have a tendency to think, oh, it's Wednesday and I'm going to the beach this weekend, so I can, say you wanted to lose 10 pounds, do it in 3 days. And the answer is no. The answer is no, not in a healthy way, not in a way that don't even tell me what you were thinking of doing. But we have healthy habits so that it's a lifestyle, so that when those things come up, we're always ready because we have been doing the things. And so I want us to focus on creating the habits and routines so that it's not, oh my gosh, I wanted to drop 20 pounds in 3 days before going to the beach. It's, I feel really confident in my body because I've been serving it and honoring it by moving it and making healthy choices with my nutrition. I'm not saying perfection, but I'm saying overall healthy choices so that the treats are kept as treats and they don't completely derail everything else because they're occasional, not the norm. So what we need to do is we need to focus on being patient because health and fitness is a lifestyle choice. It is not a matter of instant gratification whenever we need it and want it around. It's something that we should always be aware of and focused on. And so we need to be patient and we need to trust the process. And what does that mean? That means making choices with our nutrition and our meals consciously. That means we don't need dessert all the time. We don't need to always be eating red meat or adding salt to all the things. It's choosing lean, good, healthy proteins. It's putting vegetables on our plate intentionally. It not necessarily needing to have an unhealthy snack just because it's around, right? If you're not hungry, you don't need to have the snack. If it's around for when you're hungry. I don't know if that makes sense, but a lot of times I notice that people are eating just because food is in front of them. And that doesn't need to happen, right? If you're hungry, eat. If you're not hungry, don't. Keep it very simple. So trust the process, be patient, and start. Because a lot of times, and I've encountered this with some people in my life recently, which I think is hilarious because I tell them and they know, but it's a matter of just starting and making the choices and overcoming inertia. So how many times do we talk about what we should do? Oh, I really should start working out. Okay, but like, what does that mean? Do you have a plan? What do you enjoy doing? Because there's a lot of things we should be doing, but just talking about them doesn't make it happen, right? All of a sudden, another week passed, another month passed, right? And so we're here still talking about it without making a change. And so we need to start, and we can fine tune the plan along the way, but it's a lot easier to direct a plan that's already in motion instead of just trying to get it to start. So think of it like your car. If a car is moving, it's a lot easier to steer it in the direction you want it to go than if it's at a complete stop trying to push it and steer it and all the things. No, it takes way more power and energy and is just completely exhausting. So be patient, trust the process, start, and remember that you don't want to start and stop because that's exhausting and it's discouraging. And because we're not focused on unrealistic goals and expectations and timelines, right? We're not in an instant gratification mindset anymore. We're not going to start and quit because we're discouraged. We're going to start. Remember that this is a process, stay committed to it, and get to reap the rewards. Most people who don't reach their health and fitness goals are because they have unrealistic timelines and expectations. So once they start, they stop so quickly, oftentimes right before they start to see some of the fruit of their efforts. And then they want to start again. So they start brand new, and then they get discouraged and they stop. And it becomes what a lot of people might know as yo-yo dieting or results, because it's a constant back and forth rather than regular, consistent commitment. So don't do that. If you've done that in the past, I know I have, the big thing is just to commit to the process and making it a lifestyle. And then we just ask ourselves, what if we don't stop? And then we answer that question. And that becomes the consistent commitment. And we get to start to see the results and the reward. I want to offer to you, which I posted on my social media, so if you don't follow me, feel free to look me up, Shan Marquita, on all the platforms, is that in about 2 weeks, I am starting an accountability group. I am not opening it up to everybody, so it really is a first come, first served group. I am only going to have 5 women, and that number is very small. So if you are interested, I encourage you to reach out to me like yesterday, because I've done the big groups in the past. I've done the no cap limit. And although it was nice to have the community, I realized that I wasn't able to serve as well because there were so many people. I couldn't dive in deep to get to know everyone's goals and accountability. So I'm just choosing 5 women. I have 1 spot already filled, which means really there's only 4 spots open. And we start in 2 weeks. Now, what does this mean? This means you pick a workout program. The one that I'm doing is only 20 minutes. I've done it before. It's 20 minutes a day. And it's the perfect workout to reform a habit of consistency. And so I have been consistently moving. I thankfully have been very intentional to keep that habit, but it hasn't been guided and focused. So it's been a little bit all over the place and just trying to figure something out daily. So although I'm grateful I've been moving, I really have been craving structure. So that's why I'm diving back into this program. You can do it anywhere. I'm personally doing it in my garage, which right now is fine, but I know come July is going to be very painful. But it just requires some free weights and some resistance loops. Some days it doesn't require any equipment, just your own body weight. But you can do whatever you want. So if that is not your jam, there's other ones there. You can also reach out to me and I'm happy to help you pick one. But the whole point of this group is really just to lean in for accountability, to form some consistency, to talk nutrition, but also healthy mindset. Like really everything we talk about on this podcast, I'm going to be covering in the group, but just on a one-on-one, very intimate basis with 5 women. and it's going to be a month long. That's it. And then depending how it goes, I might do it again next month, and maybe I'll open it up to 10 women. It's really going to depend on what the feedback is, but I know that I just need this for me. I'm forming this habit for me from all the craziness that has been going on. Intentionally practicing what I teach you guys here is forming the habit of structure and making the intentional choices. And I've had some people tell me that they are in the same boat. And so I decided we're going to do this together, but it's going to be kept very small and intentional. And we're going to look at it after 30 days. We're going to see how far we came, and we're going to see if we want to do it again. So if you're interested, shoot me a message and we can chat more. Otherwise, I will let you guys know how it's going, and maybe you join us next month. But really, I just want you to hear that you're not alone. We're all struggling in different seasons of life to form consistent habits, to regroup. Life comes in all directions. And so sometimes it's just a matter of figuring out what we need in this season and how we can adjust in order to continue to make healthy choices amidst the craziness. Sometimes it's easier than others. For me, this was not the easiest last season, but we're headed into a new one. And so I'm just going to keep adjusting, and I'm going to keep reflecting, and I'm going to keep teaching you guys what's working and what's not. And we're just going to keep moving forward. Not perfectly, but to the best of our ability with the tools that we have. So I hope you guys are doing well. I love you so much, and I'm just so grateful for you. And again, I just want to say thank you for walking this season of life with me. I pray that I can be a beacon of light in your life too. Life has curveballs that come all the time. And I just pray that you are finding your footing and just having good direction and support along the way. And I am just so excited to talk to you soon. All right, I hope you're having a good week. If this podcast helped, challenged, or inspired you in some way, I would love it if you'd do me a huge favor and leave me a review over on Apple Podcasts. It helps me to hear from you and know how this is best serving you. And go ahead and screenshot this and share it in your stories. Tag me at Shannon Marquita. That's SHANNONMARQUETA. And send it over to a friend in a text who is ready for healthy changes in her life too. Let her know that this episode might serve her as well. I am just so grateful for you and would love to hear from you. Come hang out and let's connect over in my Facebook group, bit.ly.com/afreshstart, or send me a message. I look forward to seeing you back here in a few days.